Welcome back. Former fisheries officer Randy Nelson returning to the show. 35 years as a fisheries officer in this province, or most of it?
Yes, all in this province.
And here's your book, and we're gonna, well, I could hold it up, but we also have a shot of it. But let me hold it up for now, because I think, oh, here we go. That's you, Randy.
It is, apparently.
Spying in the trees with your binoculars, looking for poachers or people doing bad things.
Yeah, that was one of many rather funny stories that are in the book, and really having a lot of fun with it. It came out in May, and the feedback I'm getting has been really good. I'm getting a lot of feedback from women who really enjoyed the book, which is interesting. I'm glad for that, because I tell a lot about what it's like for my wife to be married to a fishery officer. It's a very dangerous job, and being at home. And one story in there where we were living in a government-provided accommodations. She awoke to a mouse chewing on her hair.
Oh boy!
Not many people can put up with that, but
no,
she stuck it out. And,
good for her.
And I guess so. It's a really fun book to read.
You have a book signing tomorrow, and that's why we wanted to get you back on the show to promote the fact that you're going to be at Chapters tomorrow at 1 o'clock, talking and signing. Yeah,
I'll talk to people. I'll read a story, whatever you want. But if you have bought a book already and want it signed, please stop by Chapters 1 tomorrow. I'll be there till at least 4 or so, maybe longer. The book's also available at Big Boot Inn downtown, and it will be available at the Adams River gift store out there as well. Excellent.
So we have a couple of topics here I want to talk about in relation to this book. Number one, the Adams River, of course. As you mentioned, the big dominant run is this year. We learned in a story yesterday, it's been 18 years since we've seen the fish come back this late in the season. Are you worried, or you've seen this all before?
Yeah, there's lots of fish coming yet. I actually went and caught a few myself a couple days ago, so there's lots on the way. Down in the lower river, lower Fraser River, there's lots coming as well. So they're on their way, and it's not unusual to have fluctuations just like you do with highs and lows of temperatures and weather.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be too concerned. Nobody seems to be panicking. The temperatures are cool, so the fish will make it up.
Okay.
The best time is going to be over the next 3 weeks out at the Adams River. It's probably going to peak in the next 10 to 12 days is when you'll see the most, but there are showing up more and more every day, so it's worth going out to. Okay,
good to know. That's a big event here, and we're expecting thousands of people out there, and of course Roderick Higg Brown has done a lot of construction. And
yeah, there are some new viewing platforms and stuff built. People come from all over the world, and I'm actually quite amazed at how many people in Kamloops have never been out there. It's a spectacle, and go out and see it. Take your kids, take whoever.
Absolutely. Yeah. We are looking forward to hearing a little bit about your viewpoint as well today on the poaching issue in this province. There's always going to be poachers. Is it getting worse?
I predict it will get worse with fisheries because of the amount of cuts that are happening. In the interior, we've closed offices in Clearwater and Quesnel, basically abandoned entire sections of the Fraser River. They'll try to patrol them from an office 100 kilometers away, but you just can't do it. I worked in Quesnel for 5 years, which was a poaching hotbed. Sorry, people in Quesnel, but that's the way it was.
Really? Like to the effect of what? In terms of fish, in terms of wildlife?
Salmon. I estimated 50,000 fish a year were poached in Quesnel area alone when I worked there.
So that's people not getting their license and just taking as many as they could catch?
It's people going out with nets. This is like the real poachers go out and fish with nets at nighttime. I've already heard from people since they've closed the office that they're dusting off their nets and getting them ready to go fishing.
Really?
There are those people out there, and unless we have a presence there, it will get worse. And it's not just salmon, it's all across the province. Abalone, for instance, has been closed to commercial fishing for nearly 25 years. And you can still buy it on the black market easily. And the stocks haven't rebounded. So we aren't putting enough effort into getting at the root of the problem, which is serious poaching.
And I imagine people who work now in the DFO don't have the courage to come forward, but because you've retired, you have a little bit more leniency to speak honestly.
They can't come forward. It's such a controlled environment right now. They can't speak out, and it's just it's a sad situation. Like the Cohen Commission, I had some hope that was going to bring some results. Over 90 recommendations resulted from a $30 million inquiry. And the department has done nothing. The government has done nothing, zero response. I expect they will come up with a response shortly before an election and throw a few beads and trinkets out to try and tell us that they're going to do a good job. but I really would be surprised if they take the right steps.
Okay, so poaching is bad in Quesnel, you mentioned. Are there any other areas of the province that are particular, like in our area here?
In this area, certainly with conservation officers and big game, there's poaching going on. I heard about a couple of moose taken illegally recently. It happens a lot more than I think the average person realizes. And that's some of the feedback I've got from the book is people said, I had no idea there was that much going on. And I was one officer out there. So it's more than we want to believe it is. And the only way we can address it is through proper public education, the public assisting officers in their job, and we need more of a presence out there.
Absolutely, more money needs to be put into.
Yeah, I looked at East Coast versus West Coast. The East Coast, which our ministers are normally from, have 3 to 5 times as many officers per capita that we do in BC.
Wow.
And then you look at other workload issues like the amount of runs, amount of coastline. We trump them on almost every category, and yet we have way less officers.
That's disturbing. You'd like to see that change. I'm sure others would as well. We are out of time, sadly. We always run out of time with you, it seems. I want to say thank you very much for coming on the show and talking to us about your book again. It sounds like a really great read.
Yeah.
I've read parts of it, but not the whole thing. So.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, tell your friends if you'd like it. If you don't, tell me.
There you go. Poachers, Polluters and Politics, 35 years as a fisheries officer. Randy Nelson will be tomorrow at the Chapters bookstore at 1 o'clock right through the afternoon if you would like to learn more and have a book signed. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.